Hey everybody. I am trying to make sure that I am live. I think so. Hey there. Do I have some people here with me today on Facebook, I hope? Hey there. Do I have some people here with me today on Facebook, I hope? All right, guys. I am Jennifer Pratt. I won't take that off. And I am coming to you from Charleston, South Carolina, and I am here to talk to you about your personal brand. I am originally from North Conway, New Hampshire. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I have been here for 17, or was in the USVI for 17 years. Before that, I have been here for 13 years. I have been in real estate for 7, and I have been with EXP now for 2. So this slide's a little bit out of date, and I just iconed last May. My real estate specialty, I would say, would be residential, mostly buyers and sellers. And for fun, I love to go glamping with my daughter in my Happy Glamper. I have a 25-foot Class A motorhome. And we also like to travel to the Caribbean. Since Sammy was born in St. Thomas and I lived in St. Thomas for 17 years, we go back quite often, and Bali. So those are a little bit about me. This is my brand. So I am the real estate fairy godmother. Ask, believe, receive, which you might recognize from The Secret. If any of you are into The Secret, I highly recommend that if you're not, to go ahead and watch that on Netflix. Anyway, next up. So I love this. You're in real estate. We're all in real estate. We're all competing with, not really competing with, but we're all, in a market with a bunch of other real estate agents. And unless you differentiate yourself through your brand, you're kind of just Joe Smith realtor. And to be memorable is what you want to be with your personal brand. So be a leader in your industry. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So you want to be memorable, you want to be a leader, you want to do something different from other people. All right, so let's talk about how we get to your personal brand. Hang on one second here. I'm just going to make sure that I am on Facebook by going on here. And let's look up Impact Worldwide and make sure that I am on here. I believe I am. Okay, great. So anyway, so let's talk about that. So your story, which is, all things that have accumulated over the years for you, your business is your brand. So your story plus your business is your brand. Your brand is your story. You and your brand are one and the same. And I don't think I can actually say that enough. You are the same person in your brand as you are in your life. So they aren't two different things. You don't hang up your brand hat when you get home from work. You actually take that into your personal life, so that it really should resonate on both levels and be the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify what your story is. I want you guys to, when you're listening to this, take some notes if you want, but I will also go ahead and see if I can post the link to this slide deck as well. Take some notes, and I want to challenge you to sit somewhere quiet for an hour or two and really do some just brainstorming on a white legal pad, or however you like to do that. Light a candle, go somewhere quiet. You really need to kind of dig deep on this. You do need to dig deep on this. So identify what your story is. We're going to build, which is developing your story, telling your story, marketing, telling your story, and nurture. Keep your story fresh. That is really important. Always try to reevaluate and course correct as you go. So as you're marketing, you're telling your story, but when you nurture your story, you're always keeping it fresh, and you're always making changes and seeing what works and what doesn't. And it can go in the realm of, what you do as far as giveaways, what you do for mailings in snail mail, what you do on social media. All these things in your marketing can always be updated and refreshed. All right, so let's talk about what your story is. All right. Okay, so your beliefs, those are basically the concepts you hold to be true. They are basic assumptions we make about the world, grown from what we see, hear, experience, and think. We form opinions that we believe are true. So think about that for a second. You have beliefs that you hold to be true, and sometimes you don't know why. I mean, sometimes you were brought up in a religious family. Sometimes you were brought up in somebody that values sports, and that is like, or even education and things like that. So your beliefs or concepts you hold to be true, and it is from how you've grown up and what you experience and think. Your values, right off of that, are ideas that you hold to be important. They govern the way you behave, the way you communicate and interact with others. Our values are formed from those beliefs. So those beliefs that you may not know where they're from, you may kind of know where they're from. Your values are basically things you hold important from your beliefs. So that builds on that. Then here's another, this is my favorite, passions. I'm a passionate girl. Passions are your core interests. These are things in your life that cause a void when you don't have them. So these are things that you find a way to make time for in your life, regardless. So these are, your why. This is your passions. This is why you do what you do. We talk about why all the time in real estate. What is your why? What are your passions? And then my very favorite is your superpower. What is this unique talent that you have that you do well, better than most? What makes you stand out of any crowd, whether it be in real estate or not, whether it be at home? Basically, it is what you do well, better than most, what is admired by others, and what you excel at. Superpowers tend to create value for others when they experience it from you. So you lift other people up with your superpower just by having it, just by being around people. And then 5 is your purpose. This is your why. This is the reason behind why you do what you do. And that ties back to your passions, because your passions are also part of that why. The reason behind why you do. So as I said, we talk about why all the time, but really hone in on that when you're doing your brainstorming. So brand is what other people believe to be true about you, even when you're not present. I love that. What other people, I'll say this a bunch, what other people believe to be true about you when you're not in the room. Okay, so if you don't give, this is just what I was talking about. If you don't give the market the story to talk about, they'll define your brand story for you. So yeah, you want to define your brand. You don't want someone else to say, I think that might be a shoe company, or maybe that's the place where my dog gets his teeth brushed, something like that. Okay, so here's some questions for you. And again, you can write them down now, or I can send you the deck, the slide deck in the notes after I get finished. So these are 5 questions that I think are important when you're brainstorming to ask. What is my brand's mission or core values? What are you trying to do? What are you wanting to do? What are you striving? What is your dream? So your mission is, like, say you love VA, like you want to really make a difference for the vets, or you really love helping first-time homeowners, or you love luxury and it's your mission to buy every rich person in America or help them buy a house on a beach somewhere. And then what are your core values? So, or your brand's core values, like what do you hone in on and what makes people think, are your values when they meet you? Who are the people that you want as clients? And I just said, are you working with VA? Are you working with first-time homeowners? Do you really want to change that category of who you work with? Who do you want to work with? Who do you feel comfortable with? Who do you feel really rewarded after you work with? And what words do you want people to associate with you? Do you, I always laugh, all my friends always laugh. They're like, sparkly is your word, because I love anything sparkly. I like, real estate fairy godmother, obviously, but anything out of the box, sparkly. I like luxury. I mean, I like all of those things that kind of go in that fairy tale, fairy godmother realm. So think about the words. What about your business and about you makes you different? This is your superpower from your peers, other people in your same field. So what makes you different? And then how can you think about your business in a new way? So say you're out there and you are Jane Smith, realtor, and you love, sunshine and beaches, and that's part of your logo. You've had it for a while and you want to do something new. So I challenge you to think about it, even if you already have your branding down. Think about that branding in a new way. What can you add in? What can you do to make it different and change it? Because I promise you, people will notice when you make a change to something they see all the time. All right. So what is this goes right along with the superpower. What is your unique selling proposition? think to ask yourself, what questions do I ask people? And what do I tell them about me when I first meet them? This is a great exercise for brainstorming. So when you have people walk into your office, or you're meeting them at Starbucks, or you're meeting them at the house, what question, or on the phone, what questions do you ask them? And what do you tell them about you? So you obviously tell them something nice about yourself. You don't tell them that you're a rat bastard. You tell them that you're a realtor for 7 years and but what do you tell them? What is in your heart that you tell them? So the reason I always go with this question is because people said, how did you get to be the fairy godmother? And I said, well, forever, I would ask people when they walked in to meet me, hey, if you could wave a magic wand, where would you want to live? And they're, in the middle of telling me, I would like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house on a half an acre of land. But what that does is that question gets them out of their heads and into their hearts. And they end up telling me about themselves without really knowing that they're doing that. And, maybe they can't afford that beautiful house at Folly Beach, but maybe they can someday. Or maybe that just gives you a sense of what they dream of and what their heart speaks to. So I love that, getting them out of their head and into their heart. So think about that. Think about your unique selling proposition and the questions you ask and what you tell people. All right. So of course we know this guy. I always say that our company EXP is Amazon when they just sold books right now. So we are at the book selling phase of Amazon, and most of you guys probably don't even remember when they just sold books. So that's how far we have to go with this company. And this is just like the perfect thing. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. Just what I was saying before, and what I'm going to say a lot more. You really want, people, Amazon, that's not a rainforest. You think about Nike. What is Nike? Like, you think about these things when you really look at branding, it really doesn't have a lot to do with the product. So think about how to differentiate yourself. And it doesn't absolutely be all end all be related back to real estate in your logo or your brand. It can be something that you just build on. Okay. Everything you do should tie into that personal brand, which is your marketing. So every Facebook post, every, Instagram, all the things that you do, whether it be social media, whether it be ads in an old-fashioned newspaper, whether it be things that you mail out. I do note cards, and some people do postcards, and everything you do. So that means colors, that means the logo, that means everything should look. So you're being basically repetitive all the time with your personal brand and your marketing. You want this to be fun, and you want it to be like, oh my God, that looks like Jennifer. It's her color, it's her style, it looks sparkly, whatever. So we really want you to tie into your personal brand. Okay. Everything to tie in. All right. So that's what I was talking about. I always get ahead of myself. Consistency. Let's talk about that. That's what I was just saying. Like, be consistent. Like, by all means, don't do a brown-based ad on one platform and a blue-based ad on another and a purple, or I'm just using color as an example. But on social media, your online presence, print, your direct mail, all your print advertising, postcards, note cards, and your signage. Oh my gosh, huge thing with your signs. People ask me all the time, I don't think I could drive a car with a sign or a wrap. I don't really want to wear name tags. I forget to take it off. Oh my gosh, you guys, guess how many deals I get from my wrapped car and my name tag that I forget to take off at restaurants. I have done so many closings just starting conversations like that. People come up to me all the time at the Walmart parking lot or Tuesday morning or whatever, or the grocery store, and say, oh my gosh, what does that mean? Do you do princess parties? And I'm like, no, I don't do princess parties, but I am the real estate fairy godmother. And then they ask me about the market and on and on. So you guys know where I'm going with that. So I have another funny thing. I was just new to EXP. I was just really blowing up my brand. I hadn't even wrapped my car yet. And I had my logo. So excited. It was like awesome. It was better than I dreamed. I'll tell you guys about logos in a bit and how to make one. But I went to my first listing with EXP, my first new sign. I was so excited. And I was driving away from the house, and imagine this sign said, real estate fairy godmother for sale. And it was my logo was the sign. And then I had EXP like you're supposed to and all that. And I was driving away and I'm like, oh my God, all we need is some balloons and a bouncy house. And we have got a princess party at this house going on. So laughing to myself, I'm like, I have to order a different sign. So basically what I did was I just took a picture of myself kind of with my wand and my tiara, and it's just my face, and then did that sort of version of it. And my logo was on there, but it wasn't the whole entire sign. So yeah, my princess party sign was hilarious. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is my unique selling proposition. It's what I ask people when I walk in a room. It's kind of all in one. Your real estate fairy godmother, and that line gave me that idea, which was actually told to me by a client. They said, "Oh my gosh, you're like our real estate fairy godmother." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is perfect." So that's how that all came about. And sometimes it will come about organically, and sometimes it will just be an aha moment, which I love those aha moments. Okay, this is me to 100%. Everything you've ever wanted is one step outside your comfort zone. And what I was saying about the car thing is also that people say they can't do it on their car because they don't want to have to drive nice. Well, I'll tell you what, it makes me in a better mood to drive nicely. It makes me happy to let people out in front of me in traffic. And guess what? They're sitting next to me in traffic. They can read usually, and they can see my car. And guess what? The nice real estate fairy godmother let them out in traffic. That does not go unnoticed. Don't think I don't have times where I want to lay on my horn and flip somebody off, but for the most part, I am definitely a better driver than I was. So yeah, be bold, you guys. Be bold. Is this about you being comfortable, or is this about you being everything you ever wanted successfully? Okay, so make your marketing memorable. This is me, and these, believe it or not, are little things I keep handy on my phone, and I send them in emails and text messages or whatever, mostly text messages because I have a picture in my email already. But this is great because say I'm working with a lead that's out of town, they don't know me, but you know what? Who doesn't want to work with somebody that's smiley, that looks like they might be fun? You know what I mean? So make sure if you do a text picture, I highly recommend doing that. Or just even your logo or something, but if you do it, make it something fun and make it something smiley. Make sure at least that you smile, because that's important. I want to work with smiling, fun people. I don't know about you guys. Okay, so this is my everything on brand. So on the left side of your screen is, I do, new home closings. I do anniversaries, birthdays, house anniversaries, any kind of, I try to do a lot of things. They all have my logo on them. And then on the right, those cards are actually my thank you cards, and as well as my house anniversary cards. And on pretty much everything I do, I send a business card, and I actually do little charms in there too. So, and I've just started doing for people's birthdays, some earrings and things like that. So just to make it less of a throwaway and more of a stop and take notice, even if they do throw it away. They better not throw my earrings away. Okay, so your workplace should be a reminder of your brand. So this is my office, and this is my little shrine to be great. I do gratitudes every morning and night. That is my secret sauce. And then this is my little shrine with my tiara, and I even have, what do you call it? Mouse pad. And those are my little charms I send out. They're little fairy godmother wands. I also have ones with like keys for the house anniversary, little keys, like castle keys. And then I also do some other things like for anniversaries, regular anniversaries, I do like little hearts, or, I have a whole bunch of different things, and really inexpensive, but a way to make a difference. That's not just a card they go, oh, I don't even know if I want to open this, Okay. So when you're doing your branding, I really, really want to talk about doing a photo shoot. Some of you have been in the business a long time, some of you new. Doing a new photo shoot, no matter where you are, is so much fun. I recommend doing a lifestyle shoot like this. So this is a model house in my neighborhood, and there's a twofold part on this. So you can ask the people that are in new home communities if you can use the model for photographs. Make friends with all your new home people. Make friends. Bring them donuts or a basket of fruit, or bring them some coffees or something one day, and get to know them. Be friends with them, because they really can't give you a buyer to buy the new house there, but they sure as heck can recommend you for the listing if someone has a house to sell. And I think this all rolls together, because this is a friend of mine who's a salesperson in my community. I've sold dozens of homes with them, and I'm like, can I use that for a photo shoot? She said yes. So off I went to do my photo shoot, but I'm always checking in on them. And I do this with a bunch of different builders because I love new construction. And yeah, so that's a great idea that's one idea for a lifestyle shoot. Also, get your headshot. Whoop, I went too far. Hold on, guys, I'm clicking too fast. All right, where did I go? I went backwards or forwards. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I'm having technical difficulties here. All right. Sorry. Oh, there we go. I got it to work. Sorry about that. I'm technologically challenged sometimes. All right. So this is, I was just saying, so do some headshots at the same time that you do this, you know, hire the photographer once, get as much as you can done. Make sure you got your props ready. These are people from my neighborhood. I asked ahead of time to help me do that. A family that we love, Sammy, my daughter babysits for, and you see the castle keys there. And my friend, who's a photographer, made me look like I was floating in air. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so logos, that's what I was talking about. These are important. People recognize, look at all these logos. I mean, most of them you probably know what they are, what they do. I mean, Apple, that's not related to a computer, but it is. So things like that, like you just don't think of those things. You know, you know what they are because you're familiar with the logo, the repetition of it, the consistency in marketing. All right, so here are some logos of some people that have come on board with me at EXP. So Lisa's decided to go nice and simple. She loves pineapples. So whatever she does, she uses her logo. She has pineapples around when she does like open houses and things like that. So another great one is Adam Barks. He is fantastic. He has a dog named Elsa that goes everywhere with him. He loves video. So he does a ton of amazing videos for listings, for all kinds of like neighborhood stuff. And his name just happens to be Barks. His last name is Barks. So he does this, and I love leading the way home. So your little unique selling proposition or your tagline could also be associated, you know, right in there with that. This one is my good friend, Melanie Snipes. She did Rainbow Row, downtown Charleston, with a palmetto tree, which is our state tree. And then Elizabeth Nightingale, my dear friend, is Charleston is your oyster. And that is the skyline of Charleston. And fun fact, the skyline of Charleston is, you don't see any hotels in that skyline, high rises rather, because you are not allowed to build anything taller than the tallest steeple in Charleston, South Carolina, downtown. So on the peninsula, it is very still a small town feeling place. You're not going to find a lot of really tall buildings. It's very quaint and historical. All right, so let's talk about the steps that you take. And again, I will get you this link. Once you figure out what your story is, your identity, your brand, your beliefs, all of that. Once you figure out what goes from your real life, well, not your real life, but your home life to your work life, what crosses over there and what you're passionate about, your superpower, all that, you're going to go to 99 Designs. I believe Vistaprint just bought them. They are a company that puts a contest out to graphic designers around the world. Robin Phillips told me about them when I first came on, right before I came on to EXP, to get my logo done. And I seriously had about 30 something designers working on my idea at one time. And every morning I would wake up, because they were from all over the world, and I would open my inbox, and it was like Christmas morning. I was like, oh my God, I love that one. Oh, nope, that one didn't get it. But I ended up narrowing it down. And from just explaining things in my head to them and sending them a few clip art or ideas from Google, they got it, they honed it down, and it is better than I dreamed it would be. I even set my picture of myself so they could make it into the caricature on the logo. All right, so I talked about the photo shoot. Make it fun, you guys. This should be something that everyone says, I'm not creative, I don't think I can do that. But even if you're not, it still can be fun. I mean, ask your friends, brainstorm with a couple people and see if they can give you some ideas. Like, I love to brainstorm with people about branding. So you guys reach out to me anytime. Do a mailing to your sphere and or your farm. I did this when I first came to EXP. I was newly branded. I had a new logo. I was darn excited. I did a mailing, and people talked about it for a month. It said, same great service, same great smile, different company, different, logo, but, and I just let them know. And they all like reached out, text messaged me, some of them said, oh my God, I put that on my refrigerator. I love it. And everybody was like, wow, that is perfect for, it was such great feedback, but also it brought me to the top of their mind, which is always our goal in real estate. Be top of mind, because people will not see you until they need to see you. So keep yourself top of mind, and that's a great way to do it. Make up some note cards like what I showed you, and some business cards, new business cards with your new photos. We know Sally Smith it does not look the same as she did 19 years ago at prom. So we would love it if you, if I like to redo my photos every couple of years, because, you know, I would like to think I age gracefully, but I definitely don't look like my prom picture. And then get some giveaways. These are really fun, you guys. So I talk about just little charms and maybe earrings for the girls on their birthday. Get some giveaways. I had a gift that I gave at Christmas time, and I'll tell you how I got there. The year before, I had given out those little tiny car magnets that you glom on the magnet to your car dash, and then you put the other magnet in your phone case, and then you glom it on. So you get in your car, it goes whoop, and it sucks to the magnet. So I gave them to I think it's a safety thing too, because you're not looking down at your text messages, you can see it. And also if you don't have a navigation system. But my best friend, Debbie, was one of the people I sent it to, as well as my family and a couple other people for Christmas. And she said, a month later, she said, oh my gosh, I love that magnet you gave me. I think of you every single time I put my phone on my dash, which is every day, a few times a day. And I thought to myself, ding, 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 that aha moment. So I had some of those car magnets made up with my information on them. And that was great. So I need to do that again, because I think I'm out of those. But yeah, that was just one of those things where you can make it fun, give something away that people will see. They will. Another great thing is, you know, the magnets, notepads that you can put on the fridge. Those stay there a while. Football schedules, those stay there a while. Things like that. And think outside the box. What makes you memorable keeps you memorable. Start the buzz. Start the buzz. I run into people all the time, and I give them my card, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the real estate fairy godmother. I see you around town all the time." But it's memorable. It's not something, I don't think there's another car on the road that looks like that. At least I don't think so. All right, so here's some marketing resources. Again, I'll give these to you, 99 designs for the logo. Note Card Cafe, which is owned by House of Magnets now, does note cards, fantastic quality. I believe they're 33 cents a card with the envelope, thick cardstock, shiny, really, really nice high-end cards there, and you can order as any quantity that you want. Vistaprint, I do some of my cards with them that I can't get done on Note Card Cafe. And then merchandise, I do some swag. I did some water bottles. I just found out about this great place called Promotique, and I got mugs, coffee mugs with my, you know, logo on there, and also like Ask, Believe, Receive on the back and my information. And they came out to $3 a piece, and I only had to order 100 of them. And I'm going to just put some candy in them for Christmas and drop them off. Alibaba, this is a great, great, great resource. It is the Amazon of China wholesale. So when I was talking about those magnets I had made, I was looking to have them made, and I found them on Alibaba, and they, you know, took them a little bit to make them and prove the proofs and all that, but I think I had to order 100, but they were amazing, and they came from China. They were much nicer than the ones I gave out for Christmas. So if you can think of it, you can have them make it. And Zazzle is what I do my phone case with, which is right here. Can you see it? There you go. There's my little phone case. And then also computer cases as well. So I have a skin on my computer that when you flip it up and you're out at Starbucks, it says, if you could wave a magic wand, where would you want to live? And then I already talked about House of Magnets for your football schedules. I usually recommend people do like we're in South Carolina, they do Clemson and USC on the front in their schedules, and on the back it's NFL, that kind of thing. So just some ideas. These are all ideas. Okay, so EXP, we are all about, and I am proof in the pudding, making real estate fun again. I have never had so much fun with my clothes on, and especially at work, as I have with EXP. So let this be something that is fun. I want you to really, really set aside some time for this, you guys. Don't try to fit it in. Really take an hour or two, go out somewhere where you're not going to be distracted. Leave your phone at home, big idea, or leave it somewhere you can't get to it, and just go and brainstorm about this, because I think it will be so worth your while. So make some memories. The chance to make a memory is the essence of brand marketing. It's true. You make a memory, and you know, I make memories because I hopefully help people find their dream house. You know, my website is dreamhousesofcharleston.com, and I just really feel like I love to take the hard stuff out of real estate and put the easier stuff in, and I take on the hard stuff and give my clients the easier stuff, I always say to my clients, okay, this is what I want you to do. Instead of laying in your bed at night with your eyes glued to the ceiling and stressing about this, that, and the other thing about this house, let me take that. And every time you get stressed out about the details of the house purchase or selling, I want you to lay in your bed and think about your kids playing in the backyard, what color you're going to paint the walls, where your furniture is going to fit in your new house. I want you to think about the stuff that makes moving fun and makes buying a new house fun. I'll handle the rest. And if there is something you need to know, I promise I will tell you. But most of that stuff, you don't need it until, you know, the end. Okay, so here is some of my marketing at work. I was interviewed a few months back, and it was very hot in that blue dress, by the way. And I was interviewed by real producers, and they did a spotlight on me. And I, as you can see, I even made my poor little daughter wear a dress in my color. And I had this shirt that I, believe it or not, found at the Goodwill in that color, and I had that dress made. But it's great. You know, they did an article all about me and how it related back to the real estate fairy godmother. You know, free advertising. I always say this is advertorial, right? But yeah, that's my neighborhood that I live in, my car, and you know, it's just made it fun. And then, so branding resources, this is just some articles that I kind of looked up and organized my thoughts with. You can use those if you want to. And then this is just, okay. All right, and so I guess we don't get to do the question and answer since we're on Facebook Live, but I just wanted to come and kind of give you an overview of the branding, and then please reach out to me. I am on Workplace. I am also on Facebook. Reach out to me, messenger me, or whatever. If you want to run something by me, there's my phone number, you guys. If you want to call me, there's my email address. Reach out. I really love to brainstorm. So I have been helping some people in the Icon Theater brainstorm after class. So I would love to do that for you too. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care. Let's see if I can turn this off. Bye, everybody.